One of the best ways to find new investment ideas is by following the portfolio of the best investors in the business. And thanks to the quarterly SEC 13F filing, public investors can use this document to decide based on what stocks Warren Buffett and other top dogs with at least $100 million worth of assets are buying and selling.
The world's biggest investors unveiling their latest moves through regulatory filings, not because they want to, but because they have to.
So, in this video, we will look at the stocks Warren Buffett keeps buying in 2022.
Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway.
After Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway trimmed its stake.
It's been a hectic year for the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, Inc., as he has taken up several assets. So let's go through 3 stocks the Oracle of Ohama has set his eyes upon. Stick around, and you might find one of these stocks as a profitable long-term investment.
Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has taken in a $1 billion stake in Apple. According to a regulatory filing report released today, Berkshire held almost 10 million shares of Apple in its first quarter.
Apple Inc., AAPL, the most valuable public company in the world, has been Warren Buffett's most significant stock investment since 2016, and he keeps growing his holdings with the firm by purchasing over 7.6 million shares in Q1 and Q2. A 0.44% increase in stock took Warren's claims with Apple Inc. to $895 million, valued at $131 billion, giving the tech giants about 42% of Berkshire Hathaway's total assets. The story of Warren Buffett and Apple Inc. dates back to 2016, when David Gottesman, director of Berkshire Hathaway, lost his iPhone in a taxi. "I felt like I lost a piece of my soul," were his exact words to describe his loss. News of this got to Buffett, who did his assignment on Apple, and after taking a close look at the smartphone obsession, proved that the iPhone was important to millions of people and would remain so for a long time. Today, the Silicon Valley firm is known for providing distinctive value to long-term shareholders, top-notch branding, and customer loyalty for high-end subscription services. According to StatCounter GS, 55.45% of Americans use Apple products. The numbers keep multiplying, which should help the organization's revenue management. In a recent newsletter, Warren Buffett ranked Apple Inc. as one of the best businesses he's encountered. Berkshire Hathaway currently owns 895 million shares, or 5.6% of Apple Incorporated.
Warren Buffett turning up the heat as Berkshire Hathaway hikes its stake in Occidental Petroleum now to 26.8%. Of course, he has been inching up that stake in the company really all year long now.
Occidental Petroleum, OXY. Warren hasn't always been a fan of petroleum investments, so accumulating energy stocks in 2019 was a big bet. The breakthrough of this purchase came in Q2 of 2022, and the Wall Street icon hasn't given up on this stock, despite recent volatility. Since the beginning of the year, Berkshire has purchased over 180 million shares of Occidental Petroleum, growing his holdings to over 272 million, valuing up to $12.5 billion. The crude oil and natural gas company currently makes up 3.4% of Berkshire Hathaway's equities, not to mention Chevron. The recent Russian invasion of Ukraine has seen OXY stock rise along with oil prices. Anyways, we'd have to wait for the Q3 SEC 13F report to know his current position in the oil and gas market. For those who don't know, Warren has never been a fan of the energy sector. Until recently, Warren Buffett believes that the price of energy products will keep increasing over the years. The COVID-19 pandemic and the Russian invasion of Ukraine are 2 significant events that have set this idea in motion. Major energy firms have reduced their capital investments during these periods, thereby crippling the global supply chain. And we could still see the price of oil and gas soar if the global supply issues are not resolved soon. It's an ideal bet in a highly inflated market. It's now understandable why the savvy investor pumps a considerable amount of his money into the oil and gas sector by amassing over 300 million shares from 2 firms. The Oracle of Ohama bought over 188 and 123 million stocks of Occidental Petroleum and Chevron, respectively, in 2022, both valued at over $37.5 billion. Currently, about 12% of Berkshire Hathaway's reserves are in the energy sector. Warren Buffett focused on getting more Occidental stocks in 2022 because the US-based company focuses more on getting domestic production to 80% by the end of 2022.
They're businesses I understand, and I like the price at which they're selling relative to their future prospects. I think 10 years from now that they'll be worth more money, and I feel it's a there's a very high probability I'm right.
Ally Financial Incorporated, ALLY. Investing in ALLY saw Warren Buffett increase his stake in Q1 of 2022 by a massive 235%. And as of the end of Q2, the billionaire had acquired 30 million shares of the auto lending firm, worth over $1 billion. The best investors see financial stocks as a profitable long-term option. Although Berkshire Hathaway's CEO has invested in various bank stocks, we'll just examine his favorite options: Ally Financial and Citigroup. So, what makes these stocks suitable? We can all agree that economic recession is inevitable, but expansion periods often outlast contractions and recessions. These long-term expansions allow banks to increase their loans and deposits, providing an avenue to return shareholder capital via dividends and buying back shares. The Federal Reserve's monetary policy shift is why Ally Financial Inc. stocks are of great concern. The end of Q2 2022 saw the U.S. inflation rate increase to 9.1%, the highest over the last 40 years. As a result, the central bank can only reduce skyrocketing costs by hiking rates. They don't have to worry about defaulting on loans, and they make up for the high rate consumers and businesses pay on these loans. Between 2018 and 2021, Ally's revenues increased from $7 billion to $8.9 billion, with a compound annual growth rate of 8%. At the end of Q2, Ally had $140.4 billion and $129.3 billion in customer deposits and total loans, respectively. Total assets were also worth $185.7 billion. By increasing his shares by 235%, Warren took his Ally holdings to about $390 million, giving him ownership of 9.7% of the auto loan company. Now, you're probably wondering how Warren Buffett picks his stocks. Like every successful investor, Warren Buffett always does his research before investing. So if you need him to invest in your firm, then the company must meet his criteria.
Why now? Again, is there a reason for this, or is it just you look at individual stocks that you wanted to own and you bought them?
I absolutely look at individual stocks. It has nothing to do with the Federal Reserve. It has nothing to do with the election. It would have something to do with interest rates if they did something extraordinary.
Here are some tips Warren uses to know what makes a stock good. The company's performance. This is an integral aspect of investment. Generally, companies with a positive return on equity, or ROE, in 5 to 10 years are more reliable than those with a quick dash of solid profits. Debt to equity ratio. A company that only grows by adding more debts won't last long in the business. According to Warren Buffett, shareholders' equity, or SE, should be the source of earning growth, as a firm with good SE can cover liabilities without adding debts. Profit margins. Growing profit margins is a green light for a good investment. Buffett examines the profit margin over several years and operating costs. Product uniqueness. A company that offers unique products and services proves to be better investments than those that can be replaced easily. Discount shares. This is one aspect Warren Buffett has mastered over the years. He seeks the opportunity to buy at a discount when the current market value is cheaper than its intrinsic value. My goal is to make you a better investor. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to this channel.